Good evening, everyone. You're very welcome to Bridges of Light show on numerology this evening. My name is Bridie Hughes, and I'd like to welcome you all, and I'd especially like to welcome our Italian friends. So, ciao. That's the extent nearly of my Italian, even though I'm getting more used to writing. This evening we're going to be talking about numerology and the vibration of numbers that relates to your name and your date of birth. We think in some senses that we just arrive here, but far from it. Our spirit has a journey planned for us, and one of the lovely things about the fact that we have numerology to work with is that we can see what it is our journey is about, why we've come into this lifetime. And working with the numbers, you're able to get a deeper understanding of the fact that you have a lesson to learn. You have, hi Christine, Sharon, Leslie, thank you. You have a lesson to learn, and the number of your, the digit that we come to from your date of birth gives us an insight into what it is that you've come to learn. There's some part of this I'll read to you because I wouldn't trust myself for it all. Hi Fran. I wouldn't trust myself to be able to remember it all, but a big part of it when I get into working with the numbers and the vibration of the numbers, that comes naturally. You will always and ever hear me talking about, hi Alice, you will always hear me talking about energy, and when you hear me talking about energy, you know the next thing that's going to follow is colour. So colour goes very much hand in hand with this energy that comes from numerology. Oh, throw it back down, dish it out again. Slow down. I'd also like to welcome Jenny and Lynn. How are you? You're welcome. I'd also like to welcome Bianca, who is translating for our Italian audience. So I need to slow down and not be just talking as fast. First of all, looking at the numbers, how we get the numbers from our date of birth. Now, one of these, it's very difficult to actually write a date of birth and have it right on the screen. I did my best, and I don't know, one of them I went very wrong with, but I'll show you what we do. I'm also sorry, it's the phone I'm working from. My iPad, for some reason, I wasn't able to connect through the iPad. So two things, hopefully I'm not interrupted by the phone, and secondly is that you're able to see enough from the pictures that I show you. You get your date of birth represents half of a numerology chart. Now, just the same as you would have in astrology, you work with the facts that you're presented with. You have a number of branches that you go off from the date of birth. You have the branches that you actually would analyze more and more. This is a very, very simplistic overview of numerology. Number one, because of the time involved, but number two, because we can't get into the real intricacies of it. The first one, I hope, will come up. I think this is the one that might read backwards for you. I don't know how it comes up for you. It's 17th of the 9th, 1950. That's the first illustration that I'll work with. And it's unfortunate that we're at this stage and that I can't, maybe if I pull it back more. That might be better. And it's even better if I cover my face, isn't it? What we do, we look at the digits going, the 17th is the day, I'm not sure if someone can let me know if that comes across right, because I'm not sure what way it comes across in the photo image. The 17th is the day, the month is the 9th, and the year is 1950. What we will do with this is we will add the digits across. Adding the digits 1 plus 7 plus 0 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 0. Hi, Paula. Paulo, sorry, my apologies. No, it's backwards. Okay, is that any better? I'm not too sure to see what way it comes across on the screen. We'll work with it anyway. So we've the 17th, the birth date is the 17th of September 1950. Okay, now when, yeah, I think that comes up about right, because I'm looking at it from this end. You add right across, each one individually. Each one individually. So write your number down of the day of your birth and go right across. Now I will ask you later on to actually type in your date of birth, and we'll do a little more work on it. But that's the code, that's the number that you come down to a single digit. Sorry, I'm way ahead of myself. That will give you the number 32. But because you have to bring it down to a single digit, the number you will get is 3 plus 2 equals 5. So the person that has this birthday is a number 5. So their life path is a number 5. I'm doing this first so that when I go through the characteristics of the numbers, you will have an idea of what we're talking about. I tell you that, and then I'm going to say to you there is an exception to the rule. And the exception to the rule is when you come to an 11 or 22. So say for example that your birthday is on the 22nd. Rather than breaking that down into 2 and 2, 2 plus 2, keep that number whole, 22 plus the month that you're born plus the year individually. Okay, so what you're doing at this stage is you're looking at the day, the month and the year and breaking it down individually. Okay, now when we have the exception, you will find out why we do the 22 or an 11. We'll go through now the notes that I have here, and then what I'll ask you to do is to write in. I'll just move this a little closer because I'm getting it hard to read any messages coming in. Okay, what I'll ask you then to do is to send in your date of birth to me, and I'll get through as many as I can. And you just write it probably simply because I've been trying to get it that I can get the mirror image of it, and it hasn't worked for me, so apologies. But anyway, let's get down to what those numbers, the vibration of those numbers actually give you. This helps you to actually understand better who you are and why. And as I come to my number, I'll let you know. And I think that's what hooked me into reading up on numerology and finding out more about it. Hi, Helen. Number 1. I'm sure we have number 1s here. And Millie, hello. Thank you, Bianca. Number 1, the traits of a number 1 is independence, being original and creative. A number 1 is a leader, is a person who wants to be out there doing things, being inventive. You would find that a lot of people who has a creative mind, I'm not necessarily saying artistic mind, but creative, that they are a number 1. I have, let me see, right, I'll get Bianca 28. 081967, and we do that. Okay. The individual with this number has to learn the lesson of developing the capability of standing on your own and going from dependence to independence. That's the reason that you've come here, is to actually evolve from being a dependent person to being independent. Tony, hi, long time no see. It's lovely to see you here. That's your role. That's what you've come in here to learn. And it's difficult at times to do that, because you can understand we all love being dependent on someone and falling back on someone to be able to say that someone's going to be there to do something. So when you're a number 1, your job is to actually know, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be independent. And then you actually start to grow in yourself. So it's a number where I'll go into the more softer end of it, and also what the negative side of it can be as we do some readings. And I hope to get through a few readings that will demonstrate the different aspects of it. The gin in this is good. I talk enough without taking any gin. The number 2 is about relation and cooperation. It's about connections. And as you can imagine, the number 2 in itself is about a couple, it's about a pair, it's about putting 2 together. So it's very different to the 1. The 1 is about being on their own. So you have the restrictions that would be on a number 2 would be more to be able to adapt to being on their own if they had to be, but it's more the fact that they need to actually look and see about family, relationships, friends, to connect in with them. So it's easily being involved in a small group as family, but you need to also look at how I can grow through being part of a bigger group, if that makes sense to you. It's kind of helping you to go forward. So looking at the number 2 is very much the couple orientated, the person that works well as a team member, has a lot to contribute to a relationship. With the expression on number 3 is the person that wants to be out in the front. Hello, Belinda. How are you? The person that's very capable to be out in the front. That's the objective of the number 3. The number 3 would be the type of person who would like to be on the stage, who would like to be in any kind of frontline situations. So I'm sure we have a couple of number 3s. I think I know a few anyway. Hi, Carol. I know a few threes that are here, and definitely it suits the personality. Number 4 it's one of the harder ones, in the sense that you can find yourself, because you go into something wholeheartedly, that you give of everything of yourself. And when number 4 comes to do anything, that you get bogged down by everyone and anyone that's around, because you'll always do the job. You'll always take on doing something that someone else has asked you to do. One of the richest people in the world is Richard Branson, and he's a number 4. So it shows where there can be, hello Agatha, how are you? And Silvana, I hope I pronounced that right. Number 9, I'll get back to actually looking at the birthdays and your life path when we go through this. I just want to give you an idea of what the numbers, this is just a very, very brief idea of the numbers. Okay, so the number 4, if you want a job done, get a 4, ask a 4 to do it, because they will give their whole heart into doing the job. The number 5, constructive freedom. That's something that has to be learned, because freedom is okay in itself, but to use it wisely, not to squander, not to waste time, waste resources, just to be that person that's able to stand back and look and see what is okay. All right, so we're at number 6 now, and 6 I always see is the family person, because they'll always look after family and always look at what the needs of the family, and the traits that stand out are balance, responsibility, love, loyalty and honesty. All the traits that makes create a family environment. Let it be close family, let it be community, it doesn't matter. The 6 is good in any kind of situation that leads to group work, and ideal for that. 7 is the analytical, the philosophical, the mystical, and absolutely weird and wonderful. I'll say it, no one else will say it, so I might as well say it of myself. Yeah, there is a downside, so you'll find out about the downside later on. But yeah, it is a number where a lot of mystics, it's about the metaphysical world, the interest is there, the occults, all those interests you will find number 7s are drawn to. 8 is the material satisfaction, success, being successful in coming and doing what you want to do, and not be afraid. It's about courage. It's not being afraid to do something, being there and take on the challenge and let it just manifest. An 8 doesn't tend to worry in its positive form. An 8 doesn't tend to worry about things going wrong, because they see it as a fact of it's a learning process. So it is it's quite simple when it comes to for an 8 to accept. 9 is the spiritual, selfless, humanitarian, and also courageous. The 9 is the very beautiful number of spiritual evolvement, and it's about coming into this world and opening up to that evolution that's possible within your spirit, to allow it to grow, to allow it to actually manifest that beauty that's within. we have two numbers that come up in a birth chart, and that's two master numbers that are different. They're a number 11 and number 22. We only work to as far as 9, 1 to 9, because all numbers will all combination of numbers will reduce when they're added together to 1 and 9, or 1 through to 9, sorry. So when you have the numbers 11 and 22, they're looked at as master numbers. The numbers can be very challenging to come in with because it is about a vibration that's higher than the 1 through to 9. So it means that it has so much to work, it has so much to offer. And if you find it difficult, if someone is finding it difficult to live up to that, we'll say 11, which is about illumination, it's about showing the spirit within and allowing yourself to grow by that vulnerability of showing the spirit within. That's where you will find that it can be quite difficult, because let's face it, we all don't want to show that vulnerability at times. So those times you actually can reduce back to the 2, the 1 plus 1. But it's not advised to stay in that energy, otherwise you will not grow in yourself. The 22 is the master builder. Again, difficult, but more stability there. I'll start in a few moments. I'll start working with the birth, with the life paths. But if the master builder will have everything, all the material things on hand. They're given the task of actually putting their life into order. So again, as I say, that can be a difficult task when, especially at different times when we're challenged and find it difficult to go from day to day and not have maybe the resources that we feel we need. Yet the spirit world is looking after us. We have to accept that when we're working in this field of work. Okay, you're all very anxious to get down to the nitty gritty. All right. What I do need for the ones that's picked, and it's going to be very hard because I know there's a lot has come up there. But I do feel I need to do Bianca, because Bianca's here almost every week that I'm on, and I do need to give her something in return for actually being there and supporting me and helping also the Italian audience. Okay, we're going to look at Bianca's birthday. So we have the 28th, which is 2 plus 8 plus 18. Plus 8 is 26. Oh, hold on. 2. I'm way ahead of myself here, and I just need to put it down. Plus 7. We have 2 plus 8 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7. Your secret's out, Bianca. So 2 and 8 is 10, and 8 is 18, 19, and 9 is 28, and 6 is 34, and 7, 4 and 7 is 41. 34 and 7, yeah, 41. So you are a 5. So in your 5, what you have is decision time. In 5s, what we have is the adventure. It's taken life by storm, basically. Hi, Susie. Well, Bianca, you have to get something in return for your time and dedication. The 5 is about adventure, and I mentioned it earlier. It's the number of using freedom wisely, being aware of that if you don't take the full picture into view, you will waste energy and waste resources. One of the things why I asked for the full date of birth coming in, you're a 2 and an 8. The components of your date of birth is very important. It's just not with what you the digit you end up with. You end up with the digit 5, but you were born on the 28th. The 28th in itself is, if you add the 2 and the 8, you have a 10. So again, you take that down. That's when you have 2 digits. When I'm looking at a chart, I'm looking at everything that I can take and bring it down to a single digit. So with the 28, you have the combination, a lovely combination, because 2, you're a good team leader, you work well in a team, and I don't know anything about you, so that's the one good thing in doing a reading. I have no preempted information. You're good and there's 2 lovely numbers here. The 2, first of all, in relationship to connecting with people, with tasks that you do, and the 8. But the 8 is about achieving at the physical, material level, so that when you look at the strengths you have, you're able to pull things together and make things work beyond even what you would have expected as you set out. So you have the potential there to actually work with yourself in looking and seeing, exploring what it is you need to do for yourself to grow in relationship to the 3 dimensions of yourself: mind, body and spirit. All of that is going to come together, maybe not just at the moment, but there's a time gap where it's going to come in, swish, like all at the one time. So it's to be ready for that, because that's where that connection with the 8 comes in. On different charts, it'll mean different things, but this is where with you is so great potential in that, great potential. But remember the 5. Don't waste energy. Don't waste energy with situations that's not going to serve you well. Put it that way. Freedom to choose is important to you. Okay, who will like to give me their full, I'm just going to go down here and see without checking. I come to you, Bianca. Right, let's see. Yeah, I need a full. Hi, Paul. I missed some, you see, as I'm talking. I missed some if you're coming in. Yeah, Sharon, or if you give me your full date, even if you don't want to say Helen, right? 24th of the 9th, 1963. You just hope your friends are not watching. 2 and 4 is 6, 6 and 9 is 15, and 1 is 16, and 9 is 25, and 6 is 31, and 3 is 34. Need I say any more? Okay, rhymes very well. 34, Helen. So you have your 2 and your 4 as components in that. 7, you will take the world by storm in your mediumistic world. You will, and I know you're already interested and involved in this work. So I'll hold hands up to, but I know nothing else about you. When we look and see that the 7, you, as I said, the weird and wonderful. Yeah, welcome to the club. The one thing you have to mind is that we have a tendency to go into things, analyse too much, look for everything to be explained, and it doesn't necessarily always come about. When that doesn't happen, there can be a despondency, and there can be then a situation where you can become distant and back off and stop your development. It's very important to actually keep that pace going. Keep it that you're able to keep the pace of it. Your 24 is good, but the 2 and the 4, what I would say is you have to watch your 4s, because the 4s you take on too much. The 2 is lovely number, but it's all you're doing with the 2 is when you overdo it with the 4, you limit the ability of the 2 to develop in you. As I said to Bianca, the 2 is about that evolving of yourself, of your journey. It's about the connections and how you can actually help your spiritual self to actually blend with all aspects of yourself. So the 4, as I say, that's your only part there to mind it. The 2 and the 4, they get on well together. The 2 numbers get on well together. What you also will see when you look at the 7, you will see the violet colour, and the violet. I didn't do that with you, Bianca. I'll come back to that just for a second. But your violet colour is about that opening from the third eye up to the crown chakra. So look at how you can contain that to the best of your ability, and not get too despondent if you don't find it working straight away. All right, thanking you, and I'll just go back to Bianca there for a second, because with the 5, there's the lovely colour of blue, which is about expression, and it's about healing. It's about all aspects of healing, the self, the friends, whoever would like to come for healing, but just be aware that you need that, as I talked earlier about, use your resources wisely. It can be very difficult at times to say no to people, but there's times when it's necessary. All right, thanking you. I'll move on, try and get through as many as Helen and Bianca and Alicio. I need more than just your... Oh, what has happened here? I've lost... I don't know whether I've lost picture. It's back. I'm not used to working with the phone, so I have a 24, 1 and 67. All right, I don't know who took that one in, who put that in. Is 6 and 2 plus 4 is 6, and 1 is 7, and 1 is 8, and 9 is 17, and 6 is 23, and 7 is 30. So what we do is 3 plus 0 is 3. You have the digit of expression. You like the whole idea of being able to express yourself. Let it be not a feeling there's writing involved. That's one of the areas where you like actually writing. The 3, you need to work with it. You have a 6 and a 3. I go back. Never mind how I jump around. I just want to give you explanations. It's not a class. It's just because it's just a talk. The 24 is giving you the 6. And then you have the 3. So I feel for me, I don't know me, so that's... I feel that with the 3, what you want to do is you want to do more. You want to get more involved in that expression, because when I'm looking at it, it seems like it's jumping out at me that it's not getting enough at the minute. It's not getting enough expression. Yes, I can take Jade's. I would like to know who I'm with, just that's all. It just comes up on the screen. May I give you my date? So I just don't know who it is. But yeah, it's to look and see where in that 3 you can actually, because you have the power number of 0 going with it. And that's a digit that actually has a power in itself. So just work with... I'm sorry, Bianca, I keep racing. I keep racing on you. Just work with... I was racing there, and I feel that's a part of what's happening with you, is that it's a little bit too fast to get the full... to get the full picture. So slow it down. Your 3 will give you the full expression. With the 24, you have it there to work with. The 24, as I said, the 2 and the 4. The 4 will tend to pull you back a bit, but not enough to make a difference, because with a life path of a 3, you're on a roll. Once you stop and take in that energy that's there, that beautiful energy, because you have you're working with a yellow, bright, fresh colour, and the 3 vibration has that colour, and it's like newness all the time. You feel probably you would get a bit bored if you had too long doing the same thing. So it's about seeing where you can channel that energy to the best, because there's a lot of energy there for you. All right. Let's see. I'm just looking at time. and we try to get it through. Fran, 24. Was that you? Yeah. All right, Fran. Thank you. It's all, as I said, it's all there for you. Using, I know a little bit about Fran, but only very, very little. We meet at different events. So I didn't know whose number it was. But just, right. Give you my date. Natasha. Forgive me if I pronounce your names wrong. 18th to the 12th. And you have 1 and 8 is 9, and 1 is 10, and 2 is 12, and 1 is 13, and 9 is 22, and 7 is 29, and 1 is 30. So you're a 3, and you're a 1 and an 8, your day of birth. Similar to the reading on Fran about the 3 is that energy that's there, frontline energy that you will be able to express. The power is there through the 0, because it magnifies the energy. One of you have the 1 and the 8. So you can do it. You have the traits of the 1, which is the person that can go out on their own, can literally pull things together. You're good at creating things. You're good at organising things. You'll have an ability to actually start something off that's new and follow it through, because you have the 8. with it, and that having the 8 with it shows that the material outcome will come true. Having that 30 is again all great numbers there. You can't actually go wrong. You need to just look and see where it is you can put your energy into, and not feel that you have to be everything for everyone, because one of the problems with the 1 is they tend to take on too much responsibility and keeps putting themselves out there to do things. So you have to stand back and think of what it is that's going to be of value to you. I also feel with the 3 that it's like there's new beginnings with it, because you have the yellow energy, and I'm looking at how the yellow energy is trailing back. It's like there is a new beginning in the making at the minute. So just work with it. Have that insight. You can work with the 1s. 4 1s there. So, yeah, 4 1s. So you have a lot of strength. You have a lot of going for you. But just be aware of that energy, that you're not taking on everything. Tone it down a bit. Okay? Thank you. All right. Can we see? Hi, Ashley. Linda. Hi, Linda. Pina. Hi. What is Sina? Where are we here? Helen. As I say, in 64. I haven't Donatella. Hello, Donatella. And age 1964. 16 and 9 is 25, and 6 is 25, and 6 is 31, and 4 is 35. Is that right? 7 is 15, and 1 is 16, and 9 is 25. 25 it is, yeah. And we come down to an 8. An 8. And we have a difference. We have a bit of a difference, which is nice. It gives variety. 8, first of all, the main one is about you're able to do achieve things. You're able to gather material. I'd say gather material. It sounds very I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to say you're gather materialistically, but it's the fact that you're able to produce the goods at the end of the task. You're not afraid to get in there, get your sleeves rolled up and get in to do the task. You will always be able to get through that. That never will leave you. You'll always have that. When I look at the 7, I feel with that, because you also were born in the 8th month, I feel with it that weird and wonderful you are. It's something that you would take into that side of yourself, that side that is very much spiritual, very much involved in seeing. I feel the holistic side of a person. You don't see the person that might present with difficulties and may not be just the nicest at that time. You see the person beyond that, and that's what's coming across really strongly. That's something that is a trait that's in you. That between having the 7 and having your 8, you will actually achieve quite a lot within your work, within your life, because this is what it's about, is your life journey. So look and see that you can take on the task. You can actually feel. I can actually feel the strength of character there. So just look at the. All I can say to you is there's nothing to be aware of, because you have that strength in your 8. You have that courageous strength there. So go for it. Don't be afraid. Your spiritual journey is very much a big part of you. There's nothing to hold you back. This thing up here is the biggest thing to hold us back, and that's the difficult part of getting through that. Okay, thanking you, and I've got a comment here. Bridie, looking good. I'll take it. I don't know who it's from, but I'll take it. I'll take any compliments that's going. And yeah, that's incredible. You're welcome, Natasha. Angie, hi Angie. Thank you, Angie. Rachel, hi Rachel. All right. Anyone else like to give me? Oh, sorry, Peanut. I call you Peanut because I know from your friend that. Because don't even ask me to try and pronounce your name. You know, your son would have seen 26th. Hi, Annie Dell. Okay, I'll do Peanut first and then Adele. So, what is see? 26, 66. And that's Peanut. And Adele is 11th the 2nd. Ah, lovely. We have an 11. 48. Okay, Peanut, I'll do you first. Okay. 2 and 6 is 8. 8 and 6 is, well, 6, I think. 26, yeah, 6. 2 and 6, 8, and 6 is 14. 14 known as 15, and 9 is 24, and 6 is 30, 36. So you're in 9. I'm just double checking that. 2 and 6 is 8, 8 and 6 is 14, and 1 is 15, and 9 is 24, and 6 is 30, and 36. You're in 9. Lovely, Pina. The 9 is about the person that looks after the world. It's the humanitarian, the strength that's it's about going out there, and rather than just focusing on your domestic, you can focus on humanity at large. Mother Teresa was a 9. Mahatma Gandhi is a 9. It's if you look at the focus of what they achieved in their life, we're looking at the 26. You have in that the companionship of the 2. It was about the relationship, and the 6. So numbers all combine to make a very good combination of connection between your own spirit, the connection between that and your family, and the connection between that and humanitarian. With Bianca translation, if she doesn't, I know I'll be able to get in contact with you if because it's just difficult to get it all down. So maybe Bianca, what I will do is follow through later with Pina. Okay, and I'll move on to Adele, sorry, not Adele. Now, you have a master number in your 11. And 11 and 2. Now, with this, rather than saying the 1 plus 1, and I'll show you the reason for this at the end. 11 plus 2 is 13, and 1 is 14. 14 and 9 is 23, and 4 is 27, and 28 is 35. Now, if I went 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. 5 and 9 is 14, and 4 is 18, and 8. 18 and 8 is 26. So that's 8. In doing a chart, in drawing up a chart, the difference there, both comes out with a life path of 8. But it's forgetting that there is a master number in that. And it changes the components of that 8. So I'd be looking at the power of that 2 and 6. We break everything down in a chart. Every single thing, we break it down to get down to the very basic. So you see the difference. They still end up with an 8. But it shows you how it can have two different components, the 3 and the 5, the 2 and the 6. The 2 and the 6 are two even numbers, the 3 and the 5 are two odd numbers. So it makes up anyway, it was a good one to demonstrate that it does make a difference how you add up. Looking at the number 8 again is about being able to go out there and get what you want to do. The difference with you is you have an 11 behind you. That 11 can help to create that end product. But it also, you have to be very aware, it's a very dynamic number in the sense that its strength can be to help you, enlighten you, but it also can help. It can also create a nervous energy, and that's the difference with the 11. The 11 is a beautiful, beautiful number, with the color of white and it edged with silver. When you have that, you have your total body sense of who you are. So don't be afraid to express that. Don't be afraid to allow that to come to the fore, because I just feel there's a hesitation in that. A hesitation in the sense of being afraid to let people know who you really are in yourself. The 8, the power number, I feel there's going to be, again, a lot of change coming. There's a lot of change to the good, because there has been difficult times and there has been the ups and the downs. So it's going to actually help you. You start to look and see what it is that you can do for yourself, rather than what someone else, depend on someone else to do it. Look at it and see where it is going to take you. Because you have it there. You have it there with the numbers you have in your date of birth. Your life path is 50% of your energy. So just imagine, like, this is what you can do. In numerology, it's the same. You can get a chart drawn up the same as you would in astrology. It's, if you're into getting charts done, that's fine. But if you're not, just accept that that number 8 is above, as above, so below, is the power that's in it. You don't have to look to anyone else for it. You have it in yourself. So as I say, you've come through the thick of it. You've been through the difficult days. Times has come now where it's right, because with your 11, it has been the difficult part that has influenced you. But go into that power, and achieve now. It's the sense of going and knowing that you can actually do it now, because you see it in your chart. We're coming towards the end of the show, and I feel with it, I could go on and on talking, but it's the part of it that actually is important to you, is the energy you have within your spirit is just, you're only tipping on it. And I always feel that as you look at any chart, let it be numerology, let it be astrology, it doesn't matter what chart it is, what it does for you, it lets you know where your strengths can be developed further, where you can actually have a key to open a door to be able to get in here, and not be afraid of that energy that's there, that power. Because who was it, Nelson Mandela, that said, fear, I'm lost with it now, but it's the only thing, fear is the fear of the strength of you. That's basically what I was saying. So just be aware of that power energy. Just to before we finish, deepest gratitude to Bianca for working with me here tonight. I'd also like to thank Bridges of Light for giving me the opportunity to come on the show and do this show. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. I would ask you if you could, we want to develop a larger English-speaking audience. Sahar, I can't remember her second name now. Sahar runs a show as well as me, but there is then the translated shows with Gaetano, and we just want to actually build more and more so that we can access information and not have let it grow, because this is what it's about. Bridges of Light is about creating the connections between us, between the spirit world and us at all levels. So I'd like to thank you, and I hope you have a lovely week, and just to be aware that you have that light within you. It's not an imaginary light. It's a light that's here in your heart. Feed it with love, feed it with acknowledgement, and knowing that the wisdom that's within you is your spirit talking to you. Good night, God bless, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.